Majority of Chinese characters are phono-semantic compounds, according to some. I don't believe that. Through years of unpacking Chinese characters all the way from simplified traditional all the way to 2000 years ago, Xu seal script, I noticed a common pattern that what's often classified as phono-semantic compounds, 形声字, actually, the sound part, the phono, is semantic. It can make meaning. So Chinese to me are fully explainable, multi-semantic masterpieces. I'm Sophie, native Chinese speaker, data analyst by trade, and language analyst by choice. I'm excited to share with you what I discovered. And this is the last character in this week's lineup of this year on the right side. And we swap out the left side, the bigger category, radical. But both sides, left or right, are meaning makers, are semantic components. This year pronounced as die, just like the rest of it. And it can mean fold. It can also mean break off. Depends on the context. Okay, the left side. Yesterday we talked about the 足, which is the foot motion, the footwork. That today we are shown with 5-finger hand symbol because, language was invented by human for human to describe what humans do, right? So we have a ton of words, either paired with food, legs, walking, hand, such body parts that give you a direct sense of, okay, when we see 5-finger hand symbol, it's mostly describe the hand motion. Because we have a lot of 3-finger hand symbol that's in a supporting role of telling another story about something else, not hand motion. Here, 5-finger hand symbol on the left side, strictly hand motion. And you may see the middle of this 5-finger hand symbol kind of tilted toward the right side. It doesn't mean raise the middle finger. Chinese doesn't have that sign language. It is an artificially added differentiator visually because we have the here symbol that looks exactly the same because this horizontal going kind of anti-gravity thing can be used as layers of furs or hairs on animal. And they share the same structure. So somebody, I don't know exactly who yet, okay, to be discovered, put a left tilt to mean that's the hair or fur. Tilted toward the right, that means the hand, human hand. Hand symbol, something about hand motion. Now, we have learned this, 是 plus 木. 是, 30 years means a generation, plus 木, wood, means generations of layers of leaves or tree rings grow on this wood. So it has this successive, continuous, reoccurring sense. That's 叶 on the right side. So when you have this reoccurring thin layers, stacks of leaves together, and you pair it with hand motion, what do you think that hand is doing? It is folding, in this case, folding cloth from a bigger, flatter surface, folded so that is kind of increase in the depth or height dimension, but shrink on the flat surface. So this repetitive layers and layers of clothing on top of each other, that's the result of the hand motion, which is to create these stacks and layers of fabric. And that's fold. Here we have one expression from one particular ancient classical literature that I met today. Well, we have many classical literature expressions, poets, bits from the past. this language have been existed for, some say 3,000, some say 5,000, some say even longer years, and generations of poets, of literature men put down so many, and we can still read to a good extent of what people 1,000 years ago say about their lives. And 闲蝶舞一 was such a scenery from a particular poem. And I guess because we have such a huge volume, our education in public schools were limited. We can only select the most pronounced or celebrated expressions, or, politically correct expressions. So it's very limited. Even I'm a native speaker, I'm fully aware I only scratched the very surface of Chinese language, meeting a fragment of what this language were providing. So the first time I'm sharing with you as I learn, 闲蝶舞一. I know every character here versus, 蝶, actually, we don't use it that much in contemporary Chinese. In the full disclosure, it was historical, and then eventually we have another 蝶, same pronunciation, but kind of overtake this character. Okay, 闲, leisurely. This is one, I guess, classical ideograph. Ideograph means combination of Chinese characters, and that's not left and right. This is outside and inside. And you cannot even say who is the sound maker versus the meaning maker, because the outside is a door frame. It's 门. Okay, the inside is a tree. That's 木, 门, 木. Together, it sounds 闲. So nobody carries the sound. However, the meaning was made. I oftentimes use this as a tester, as somebody's understanding, kind of intuitive understanding of what this language is trying to communicate through visual ways. When you see the tree within that door frame, that means you're off farm field. You are taking your leisure indoors. So unlike today's living condition, most of us are indoor all the time. We are missing out on the outdoor time. Ancient lifestyle where like 90% of population were farmers, and most of the time, I'm not sure if they have a 7-day cycle, probably not, because that's a Christian concept, that we're working almost like daily, as long as the crops are growing, as long as there are farming needs that need to be tended to, you are outside. So outdoor was the default back then versus indoor was the default now. So when you see the tree in a door frame, meaning logically you're indoor, you're spending your indoor/leisure time. Okay, so here it means 闲 means leisure. The leisurely fold, 舞一 dance, apparel. So apparently, ancient times, dancing was a thing. It was not only for entertainment like today, mostly for entertainment. Ancient times, dance probably was a ritual as a communication of humans to the divinity, trying to catch the attention of the divine. And so dancing probably was a serious business back then. Okay, even if in this expression, 闲蝶舞一 means you leisurely fold away your dance apparel. How nicely this lifestyle was. Okay, the next two, 蝶, didn't transform the shape, but transformed the sound. It became 蛇. And over here, it doesn't mean fold anymore. As the sound changed, the meaning changed as well. That means the same shape can be interpreted in different ways, mean different things. And sometimes Chinese would change. Sometimes just intonation change, but oftentimes it's dramatic pronunciation change to signify exactly which direction of the meaning that is in the same shape. Okay, 蛇 here means counting. we have 蛇之以四. This is again my first time encounter from some classical book of how you count things. You count it by fours. Why fours? Because this is related to ancient, I guess, the framework of the world that, okay, we have the four directions, right? And so a lot of things are quadrants, in a quadrants. So number four carry a special, I guess, for our initial understanding of the world, to classify things into fours would be the easiest thing to do because that represents two dimensions, right? And you just have four quadrants, X and Y. Then to count things by fours is the way to go along with this worldview that when you count things, you count it by the fours. Versus today, when we count things, we count it by fives because we have 5 fingers. Okay, 蛇之以四 simply means count something. 之 means that thing. 以 with 4 in 4 groupings. Okay, 蛇师. Okay, this 师. First time met this character. Wow, this 师 means a particular plant that in ancient times used to fortune tell. So this love me not kind of deal probably was a long tradition. Before people can fortune tell easily, I guess with today's professionals, people just improvise with trying to have something else to make the decision for them by yes and no binary, right? And this 是 is the yarrow plant that got plenty of leaves and branches that you can pick off like that. And so each time is a positive, negative, positive, negative binary choice until it comes down to the last one, and there the decision is made. So I guess that's kind of a universal thing. So 蛇 shi simply means piece it off, take it off. So the hand motion in that case is to peel off layers of little branches or flower petals off this plant. Very organic and relatable through just the image, right? So we have contemporary psychic reading versus 碟 is the ancient psychic reading that can also mean folding. And actually, psychic reading, ancient version would be 蛇. Okay, thank you for your time. See you another day.